Welcome back to another great episode of the VisionLab podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Cuffey, alongside my co-host, Mr. Ryan Mosley. The VisionLab is the official growth mindset podcast for all visionaries worldwide, showing mad love to the cigar community. It's here in the lab where we uncover people's visions and dreams and how those dreams actually come into reality. Folks, it's all about tapping into and becoming the absolute best versions of ourselves through self-discovery, self-examination, and self-actualization. Yo, we're talking Brandon today, homie.
Absolutely.
Who we got on the show?
Today's guest is a native, as you heard, of Charlotte, North Carolina. She is the founder and CEO of the branding agency, Tyra Brand You. Please welcome the wonderful Tyra Wooten to the VisionLab podcast.
Thank you.
What up, what up, what up?
How are you?
I'm well. Thank you so much for having me.
So this is another testament to the power of social media, right?
Sure.
As we're knocking on the door for the last quarter of the year. You and I talked a few weeks ago.
Man, it's fast.
I'm telling you, right?
Golly.
We're going to look up, it'll be 3 years in a minute.
Man.
You and I talked a few weeks ago, and you were like, hey, we need to go ahead and get the last quarter of the year kind of lined up. And then literally the next day, we get a DM.
Right.
It's like, hey, like you guys show, like to come on, so on and so forth. So I, did a quick little research, right? I had the 4 or 5 minutes at the time. I said, hey, well, we got a guest. Here we go.
There it is.
Shout out to your assistant back in Nashville. She did a great job getting everything lined up, and we appreciate you being patient as far as the scheduling is concerned.
Yes.
Cashville, what up?
Absolutely. So the first question is, as far as the agency itself is concerned, and we're going to get into you in just a second, but what is Let Tyra Brand You all about?
Let Tyra Brand You is an agency that we want to help individuals reach their greatest potential in all aspects, whether it's branding, business coaching, social media content, PR, whatever it is, we have you covered with our agency.
So you're a military rep, been all over the country,
Yes.
landed in Charlotte for a little
Yes.
bit. How did you get involved with the whole branding aspect?
That's a great question. So I did mission work for a very long time. That's how I met my director of digital marketing. We actually volunteered together at the Salvation Army, helping men and women that are in halfway houses.
Okay.
We were doing devotions with them, doing arts and crafts, give them snacks and stuff. So I always had a heart to do outreach, whether it's helping rescuing women that are being trafficked or feeding, the homeless, like whatever it is. Like I have a heart for it, and I have a heart to serve.
Right. Love that.
And to serve others. I'm not too big. I don't care what my title is. I love to just serve others, and I like to build confidence in others. And I realized that I had a gift, and I want to utilize it. And so when I got the branding together, I was like, wow, this is great. So when I'm able to help people that do not have confidence in themselves or in their companies, or don't feel like they can, get back out of water after this pandemic hit them dry, so I'm able to give them a little bit of hope still.
And so what was the pivotal moment or the aha moment,
The light bulb moment.
moment?
And we ask that to everybody because everyone's got a point where it's like, okay, this has to work, or
Well, no, I'm not even going.
This is
I'm
gonna work.
not going that direction. I want to know what is the aha moment to say, hey, let me step out there and create this agency.
Yeah, it was so funny because I was at midnight, and it was midnight. I woke up, and I'm definitely a firm believer. So I say the Lord. Hopefully that's okay. But the
Absolutely.
Lord put that in my heart. He said it was like clear, like let Tyra brand you. I was like, what is that? Like and I. Within an hour, I got together my website. I just did my website within 30 minutes.
Really?
What is the website?
LetTyraBrandYou.com. I built my website from the beginning. I said, I definitely need an intern. I need someone that's going to help me. That's how you met my assistant, Belle. She's like so amazing. She was there for me in the beginning. We were on the patio brainstorming how we can make this work.
And how long ago was that?
It was actually 90 days ago.
Wow.
Wow. Okay, so time out. So I'm thinking because she's we've had a couple conversations. She's very refined. She's very polished. Like, this is like, I'm on the phone. Like,
She's been doing this for a
This is
minute.
a seasoned professional. You've only been running this for 90 days?
Yes.
Congratulations
That's
to you.
incredible.
Thank you so
That is
much.
awesome.
Yeah.
And what I love about it is she did it in the middle of COVID, right? Well, maybe not the middle, but like while we're under, this
still
whole,
in COVID, yeah.
we're still in COVID. You're talking, this is October, so you're talking what, July-ish, June, July?
Yes.
And you just hit the ground floor running.
Yeah.
Let's go into that. What type of mindset do you have to say, I'm going to pull the trigger and I'm going with no experience, no capital? How did that all work?
Yeah. I think that you just got to believe in yourself.
Okay.
You have to have confidence in yourself because you're going to hear the word no. Or I don't think this is a good fit. I mean, everyone that I came in contact with thought I was crazy to start a business with no capital, really. I had an intern with me that believed in my passion and my vision and said, Tyra, I just want to work alongside with you. I believe this is going to work. And so when you have that and you have the passion for your staff, I mean, because sometimes when I felt like giving up, but my staff was like, no, Tyra, like you got this, like you're great. It helps me to keep understanding where the prize is.
Sure.
We've had a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs on the show. And one of the things I'm always curious about, because everyone's got a different perspective, everyone's got a different path, right? Even though you're 90 days in, I'm sure you've had a couple days you're like, man, this is really, really hard. What are some of the things?
Like today.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, I want to break that down.
What are some of the things that have kind of come up as you've been on this path, even though it's for a short time? What are some of the things that have come up that made you be like, man, I couldn't anticipate that happening, to where you've had to adjust, or to take your word, you've had to pivot in order to keep the ball rolling?
Sometimes not having enough staff, and sometimes I had to do it all on my own, and it's a lot. I have an intern that's in college. I have, it's a lot doing it all on your own. And so at the beginning, that was difficult to have to do all the email. I was doing business development. I was doing the content. I mean, I was doing it all. And
Not to mention finding clients.
Yes. And so I did that all, and then my assistant, thankfully I met, she was able to help me out because it was summertime for her. She was out of school, and she was able to help me get the ball rolling, and so that became very successful. Not to give up and just realize, the vision and at hand, and even though I have sleepless nights, like now. Even on weekends I want to go out or vacation, I'm working all weekend because I have a goal, and I don't just give my clients mediocre. They get the top of the crop.
I want to go back a little bit and break this down, because I think it's really cool that you're less than 12 months, hell, you're less than 6 months into the game, and you've got this passion and this vision as well as vigor. I think it's important for our visionaries that are tuning in. By the way, if you like the content that you've heard thus far, please go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel, The VisionLab Podcast, as well as to the podcast itself, streaming on all platforms. I think it's important to let people know, if you're willing to take this step and you're willing to have faith, here's what the other side of that faith looks like in terms of the grind. Today was a tough day. So let's talk about that.
Okay.
Right? We don't have to know names or anything like that, but can you kind of dive in and let people know this is what you're going to have to deal with on the other side of that faith?
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes you and the client are not going to see eye to eye. Sometimes you're stubborn, they're stubborn. They want things one way, you want things in another way, and it's like a pride thing. Sometimes you got to back away from your pride and just go with it. Also, I have to say no to a couple businesses, because if it does not represent my brand, and if it does not edify or anything in that nature, I do not have it on my team. I only really want to bring up positivity, things that are enhancing the world, that is building up the world. And so that's very important to me. And so sometimes people can disagree. Well, you should brand any business, all business, but it's like my brand agency, so I can pick and choose what I want.
All money ain't good money.
Yes, and I'm not desperate.
How does someone that's had a W-2 job or works for someone, right, but does have that vision of stepping out and doing it on their own? You've done this real recently. I mean, you didn't have much capital to start.
I did not.
Can you help bridge that gap and talk to our visionaries and tell them, this is kind of what my experience looks like from a financial perspective? We don't have to get into the actual numbers, but what does that look like in terms of, hey, this is what you need to be prepared for?
Absolutely. So I woke up at midnight, so I had no idea that this will come to place at all. And so when I actually did, I did my budgeting. I was like, what can I spend? I'm very frugal. Anyone that knows me, I do designer things, but also I'm very frugal, on a lot of other things too. And so I'm just like, how can I save money? And I can use this towards, getting staff. Yeah. So I said, I built my own website myself. So that saved me a couple thousands of dollars. Yep. And so I did that I also hired an intern instead of just going on Indeed and hiring someone. So the interns they will work for you, getting credits and all that. So you don't have to really give them an, income base for that. You can give them a scholarship or a letter of recommendation. So that helped out a lot. And then once my business started to grow, and when it grew, I hired my intern on to be my executive assistant and giving her a salary now. So I feel like I always want to help those who help me.
Well, she said help.
Yes, she did.
Yes, she did. One of the people who has helped us immensely has been Edwina Brown and the family over at Blowin Smoke Cigar Lounge. EB, thank you for having us in the shop last week. We are eagerly anticipating you opening to the public. Visionaries, if you have not had a chance, make sure you bookmark it or put it on your to-do list. Make sure you get to Blowin Smoke Cigar Lounge the new location, 1604 North I-35 in Lancaster, Texas. A great humidor, a beautiful space. Again, EB, thank you so much for all your support since day one and allowing us to come in and work last week. And we look forward to seeing you very, very soon. Absolutely.
And also, want to give a big shout out to our man, the OG himself,
yes,
Jeff Davis. Shout out to you, man. We're here at Astute Gentleman recording again, almost like a second home now at this point.
Absolutely.
So if you're on the north side of Dallas, Addison, Carrollton area, make sure you guys stop by, holler at Jeff, hit him up on Instagram.
Get a cut and a stick.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome humidor. Love his hand rolls myself personally. But you talked about the word grow.
Yes.
You've grown pretty rapidly in a very, very short amount of time.
Yes.
How?
I think with my passion and my heart, that's just the truth. I think that when people know you have a good heart and that you're going to do right by them, they don't waste any time doing business with you.
Well, how are you finding your leads? How are you?
A lot of it's through word of mouth. A lot of it's through marketing, digital marketing. But I am thankful to have a great community base. So I have a lot of my circles are like business owners, so I actually had my friends that helped me say, hey, this is what I want to do. Let's me do a trial for you to see how it goes and see. They loved it, and so all of my friends who are business owners, I'm branding them all. And then they liked me, and then they went to their friends and then their friends and all of that. So we're doing marketing, but our biggest right now is word of mouth because of I believe how well I am known in the community.
Translation: her network is strong.
Yeah, yes. For sure.
That's what she's really trying to say. She's being humble about it.
And I love the fact that she started, with her inner circle. Yes. So that's important. And to have a strong network that's willing to support the business as well. So that's outstanding.
Let me switch gears real quick, Cuff. So we've talked about the business, right?
Uh-huh.
But who are you? Who is Tyra Wooten, the individual, right? Like we've had conversations obviously leading up to this actual interview, but who is Tyra Wooten, the person?
Yeah, well, Tyra Wooten, the person is, that's a real, I don't like talking about myself much.
Well, you got to today.
I know,
So
right? Yeah. But I'm just a very, like, a humble person. I'm a very spiritual person. Church, and it's my world. I lead a Bible study, a virtual Bible study, with a co-leader of mine, and her name is Nicole, and she's great. So that's global. It's all over the world. We have over 100 members. So it's great. I love to do mission. I love to do outreach. And I just really love just to even, I love to rescue animals. I will rescue everyone if I could.
How many animals at your house right now?
Oh, I'm doing really great. So I only have a cat right now, and then I did have a bunny, and then my roommate has a dachshund. So we have, and then I definitely want to get a chicken coop next, but we're still I'm working on that with
animal
her.
farm over there.
Yeah.
Why do you want a chicken coop? I'm sorry.
They're just so cute.
I think she may be the first person to ever say that a chicken is cute.
Well, also
Not chicks, but like a chicken.
Yeah. The only other person who's even gone that direction of animals is Jaren, but he's out in another
But
universe.
he's not gonna call them cute.
Yeah, Jaren. Yeah, he's gonna do something else with it.
Yeah. I want to go, since we're talking about your mindset.
Yes.
Where did that develop in terms of saying, hey, I have this can-do attitude? 90 days ago ish, you decided to embark upon something that was completely foreign to you. Where did that strength, where did that faith and that mindset come from?
I hate to go there. Well, not hate, but it's definitely God. I believe in that scripture. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me.
Right.
And I feel like no matter what, He's beside me. And any decisions that I make, anything. I mean, He has. Obviously, it's this. I can't really give myself credit. I think it's all God that I'm got this far, honestly, and I am completely thankful, and I'm in awe too. I wake up in the morning, it's like, Tyra, you're like a CEO. Like, that's a big deal. I'm just like, I'm really, really stunned where I am in life right now. I'm very humble as well.
So as a CEO, when you look up, you've got staff, you've got interns, you've got customers.
Yeah, I went from just me and my intern to a staff of 8 people.
In 90 days.
In 90 days.
Pretty good.
Place to be in.
But in terms of like having a staff and having payroll now, having a bottom line that you have to recognize to keep the business functioning, finding new customers. As you wake up and you put that CEO hat on, what does your mindset look like when you're having to, converse with your employees?
I'm always thankful for them. And so they know when we are on our conference calls or we just simply talking to each other, they're like, Tyra, you're just so personable, and you're like, you have a heart of caring. And that really means a lot for me, because if your staff is not happy, they're not going to advertise and promote you the best way they can, because you want them to say, hey, I have the best boss. Like, I love Tyra. Like, she's great. And, because I feel like how you treat your staff shows a lot about you as a person.
Where did you learn that, though? I mean, you've never been an owner or CEO.
Who fostered
this? How did that mentality come to be?
I just think my dad kind of fostered it. Yeah, he was in the military. He raised me and my siblings strong discipline to the point we were not even able to date until we graduated college.
I have no doubt.
So he set the bar very.
Don't you bring that boy home?
Yes, yes. So I was the type of girl that had her friend her friend to three-way the guy in so that my dad don't realize it's a guy calling.
Yep. And if you picked up, then you can. I'm just talking to.
Yeah, exactly. You know how it goes. So my dad set the bar high. He's one of the best individuals I know to date. He has a big heart, loving heart, and he's always instilled in me that I'm destined for greatness.
Love that. She said big heart.
She did say big heart. Mm-hmm. Another group that we know has a big heart, and we love working with them. It's the good folks at KLASE VODKA.
Yeah.
Shout out to Crystal and Tim. Class in every glass is the slogan, visionaries. We stand on the product for a reason. The Instagram handle is at @KLASE_VODKA, I do believe. Is that correct?
Yep.
That's KLASE with a K, KLASE. Again, the slogan is class in every glass. Get your hands on a bottle of KLASE VODKA. We promise you will not be disappointed.
I want to quickly do something. I noticed your cigar there. You got a king cut.
Yes, I did. I did king cut this cigar. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You already know my perspective.
I do, and I want to give a shout out. They're not a sponsor, but they really do make a good cigar. We actually, what's funny is we both pulled this out.
Right.
You got yours here. I think I had mine here previously, and that's the Don Rafa cigars.
Correct. Absolutely.
And if you haven't had a chance, I don't know their website. They're not a sponsor of the show, but really, really enjoy it. I've smoked probably 5 or 6 of these. Great cigars. So make sure you support them.
Absolutely. To finish off the point about you as a person, right?
Yes.
You're like I said, you got payroll to meet now.
Yes.
What's the responsibility? Because everybody thinks like, okay, I'm a CEO, or I'm an entrepreneur. I work for myself, right? But no one ever talks about the responsibility that comes with that. Especially now, you've got payroll.
Yeah.
So yes, you do work for you, but ultimately you're responsible, and you're kind of tied to those people who work for you. How do you view that responsibility?
I make sure they eat before I do. And that's just the truth. I want to make sure if I have to work a second job and to make sure I'm okay, I want to make sure they're okay, and then they're getting compensated correctly. I don't want to shortchange them based on a lifestyle that I want, because they deserve to get paid at their experience and their background. So if I have to work 2 or 3 jobs, I'm geared to do that.
And that's pretty big, because not only are you responsible for like taking care of yourself, your bills, etc. Mm-hmm. You've got staff that you have to make sure they can take care of theirs.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's a huge I don't want to say learning lesson, but like I'm glad that you figured that out. Yeah. Like my employees got to eat first.
Yes.
And that's such a selfless mentality.
Oh.
Over the last 90 to 100 days, what else have you learned as a CEO?
As a CEO is that I need to be confident in my brand, and some people are not going to agree with how you do things, and it's okay for them to disagree with it, but that doesn't mean I have to change it. And I have learned to say no, and I have learned to be direct, and I have learned to really be humbled about where I'm at, because I feel like anyone can be at a different place tomorrow. So I take every day with gratitude and being humbled and thankful for where I am right now.
I love that. I absolutely love that.
So you're in this cool world of branding, PR. I'm sure there's some social media stuff attached to it, all right? What's some of the coolest things you've done in this 90-day ramp-up period? And I'm sure you've probably crossed some barriers that other people who've been grinding at this for years have not even touched.
Well, hold on. Let me jump in real quick, because before you answer that, and ask her again because she may forget, but what does your agency provide as a service? What are the service modules that you guys offer?
Oh, well, we have a long list. So we have a 24-hour concierge service. That's anything that you need for as flight, accommodations, whether it's for, hey, I need a book, I'm headed to town, I have an interview, whatever it is that, we are helping you with the branding purposes. We have a 24-hour concierge service to help you with any of your needs. I also, not only my for my staff, but I also want my clients to have 5-star customer service as well. And I want to provide my absolute best for them. So that's why I hire a director of customer relations to make sure all that is handled. Also, we have business coaches. We have a business coaching. We have PR, product branding. We have social media content. We have so much. I'm probably like not even mention it. And for my staff is watching, they're valuable. And I'm just thinking like, what else do? We do so much talent acquisition. We do what we have a partner with a website. He's so amazing. He's my partner for Winds Consulting. He handles all of my website designs for me. So we contract that out, and he's so amazing at that.
Okay,
so now because I think it's important people know what she does, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. So I'm gonna ask it again. In this 90-day ramp-up period, like I said, I'm sure you've crossed barriers that people who've been grinding at this for 2 or 3 years haven't touched yet. What's been some of the coolest, I guess for lack of a better word, like campaigns or projects that you've been a part of, or people that you've worked with, if you're allowed to say so? I know there's NDAs in that world and all that good stuff.
We do have some NDAs, but to work with some professional athletes, to work with models and like fashion bloggers. I've been, on it. I was featured in a couple magazines. I have been offered tickets to go to the golf tournaments, VIP for me and my clients. It's just been a lot, overwhelming support I've been receiving, and it's just I get
in 90 to 100 days. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Congrats to you, because clearly you were doing something right.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I don't think it's me. I think it's like all God and him just, me being faithful and what he has designed for me, I think.
What is branding?
That's a really great question.
That's a good question.
Yeah. So I believe when it comes down to branding, that is what sets you apart.
Okay.
Like, what makes you different? What's your story behind your product? Mm-hmm. That's your brand.
And how do you take your customers or clients to the next level? What's the Tyra stamp?
Yeah, it just depends on where they're at. So we have clients that are, they're all, they just need a little bit of polishing, and they're good to go. And we have some that,
starting from scratch.
Yes. And I was like, hey, they were like, Tyra, I want to do this. Let's go ahead and do a video. I said, before we do all that, let's get our image consulting on the call. Let's, kind of do a full, let's do fashion. We change individuals' complete fashion, clothing. We do, we have to do haircuts too. That's okay. We schedule that, so we're in a good place for a referral. So we do it all. And so sometimes clients get a little bit like, you tell me I need to change. It was like, I just want to. Honestly, I will feel bad if I'm holding back something and you're not able to reach your greatest potential. And I'm completely open. I'm completely honest. And sometimes a lot of people are so comfortable where they are and don't understand where they're at currently is not producing anything.
I had a thought, but before I spit it out, I'd say thank you to the good folks at Dallas Leaf LLC, Ron, Sheree, David the Bean Counter, like the entire squad, the army of Dallas Leaf LLC. The website is DallasLeafLLC.com. The Instagram handle is at Dallas Leaf LLC. Whether it's cigars, entertainment, charity events, whatever it might be, if you're looking to get something done here in DFW, make sure you get with the folks at Dallas Leaf LLC. She talked about a lot of cool things, right? And like I said, I was shocked when she said 90 days. Like I told you, it's like she's a professional.
I had a feeling, but yeah.
So again, kudos to you.
Thank you so much.
When it comes to you making the next step, right? Mm-hmm. You've got a staff of 8. Again, 90 days in. That's mind blowing. What is the next step or the next level look like in your opinion?
The next step is just having more clients and having more staff, and revealing some really cool news today, like no one knows yet. But we are about to launch Let Tyra Mentor You.
Wow.
What all does that entail?
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. So what that entails is that we will, we're actually looking for kids who are in low income communities, like the salary range from 25,000 a year or low, or it can be 35, but pretty much we're looking for the $25,000 annual income and lower, and we want to provide the kids a great atmosphere, a positive atmosphere, and to also develop business essential tools that they need to function in the workplace. And we want to be able to also offer scholarships. We also want to help out with financial obligations they need to start school. We want to be able to be a support to them, because I feel like if we don't support our own, like, who will?
Now, when we're talking about these scholarships for these kids,
Yes.
what is the criteria? Can it be a 8-year-old, or does it need to be a high schooler?
Yeah, we're looking for high schoolers
Okay.
that are able to actually work for us or our clients. Some of our clients have agreed to let the interns work for them. And then, and so what we are doing is that we have people that are sponsoring kids that in their name will receive a scholarship.
Well, we need to connect offline on a couple of different fronts. I think I'm a huge philanthropic person, like, do a number of different things in the community. I think it's important to give back.
Yes.
Not everybody is able.
Right.
And I just grew up in that environment. TVLP, we had our annual golf tournament, which benefited the Leukemia Lymphoma Society of North Texas. We also gave some money to
The Alzheimer's Foundation.
the Alzheimer's Association, and we gave a couple $100 to some teachers and Texas College. Shout out to our man Greg Ellis.
Absolutely.
So I'm all about it, and I think it's important to give back. And I love that there's a philanthropic arm within the company too.
Yes.
So Mo had asked the question, kind of like, where's the company going? But I want to leverage that and say, you've used the word vision earlier in the episode. When we say the word vision, what does that mean for your agency?
I think that we have our vision for our clients.
And what's that?
It depends on which clients, but we have different visions for each client, and it's it's very important for them to understand that our vision for them, and that comes with experience, and that comes with and that's very important for them to understand that.
Sure. And I think that's like you said, it's important. And for that reason, I want to give you the opportunity, look into the camera, and I want you to drop your social media handles, your website,
Any way they want people to contact you.
that they can get in contact with you.
Okay. So my website is lettyrabrandyu.com. My Instagram is Tyra _ I think it's W87. And also my business Instagram is Let Tyra Brand You. TikTok is Let Tyra Brand You. Facebook is Let Tyra Brand You. And so is Twitter.
So just get the Let Tyra Brand You, and we promise you'll be able to get in contact with her. She answers social media. We promise you will not be disappointed.
Yes.
So we have reached this segment where we call, we're going to land the plane. It is brought to you by the good folks at Grand Brulot. Thank you to Francisco, the owner. Thank you to Jameson and the Lovers team, everyone who's a part of this partnership. We can't thank you guys enough. What do you think of the product? We'll let you sample before we actually got started.
It seriously tastes like cold brew, but spiked.
It's a good way to put it.
I think that's the first time somebody's
First time somebody said cold brew, but as soon as I said this got a hint of coffee, she's like, give me some.
Yeah.
If you say cold brew, I promise she's going to sell off the racks. I promise.
Got you. So one of the questions we ask everybody at this segment, right? Mm-hmm. It's you, and there is a round table. There are 5 other seats at the table. Who are the 5 other people you want at your table? Only caveat or stipulation, if you will, is that you can't have God at your table. That's too easy. Who wouldn't want to have him at the table?
Yes. And these people are
Dead or alive.
You just get 5
I guess
seats.
you know what? You're an animal lover. Maybe she could have
We'll give you 1 animal for your 6th man at the table.
You guys gonna make me cry because I lost my dog maybe 4 months ago, and I rescued him, and so his name is Archie. So he has like a special place in my heart. So he'll definitely be at the table. He might be eating all the food off the table, but he'll definitely be at the table. I will have my parents, of course, my mom, my dad.
All right, so you got 3 left.
3 left. Okay, I have my grandparents because this is really hard because I love all of my grandparents. So I'll have 1 from each side. I think that'll be fair. So it doesn't really matter who. I love all of them the same. So that's 1 more seat.
One seat.
We're going to give you 1 more seat.
And that's also my best friend, Priscilla.
So, Mo, you kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but I want to dive just a tad bit deeper. Mm-hmm. We talked about who Tyra is, but where is Tyra going? Like the vision for you.
For my brand or just for me?
For you.
For
as an
me?
individual.
That's a really great question. My vision for me is to be married with kids and retired.
So I've got to ask this question then. I mean, as a business owner, CEO, founder, all that fun stuff, like, how do you balance children and work?
That also is a very, very great question. Boundaries and balance is very important. Therefore, you're not going to be able to function, and you're not going to give 100% if you don't have balance. So I always plan. I'm a type A person, so I plan my day, my week. My sister and I are on the phone. I let her know the meetings I want, how I want my schedule to go, and I have to plan my time too for myself and for my friends.
I've got a challenge question. We've never done this before in 100.
I know where you're going. Go ahead.
20-something, 30-something episodes, but you want to be a mother.
Yes.
You're young.
Mm-hmm.
How do you see motherhood changing your vision?
Oh, I see it changing in a great way. I want my kids to look up to mom and dad, and mom is like, well, mom had this vision and she got her business off the ground in 90 days, and she's leaving a legacy to me.
And does motherhood change who you are?
That's a great question. Not being a mother, I'm not sure how it will possibly change me, but I will still want to let Tyra Brand You with children.
Sure.
You know, and
Here's the real ultimate. Here's the question.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a question.
okay.
Can the modern woman be both a entrepreneur and a mother?
Yes, with balance.
Is there such thing as balance?
Yes.
Because you're literally the captain of the ship, and so whenever something goes wrong, like you said, you had a 24-hour concierge for some of your clients. Like who's answering that phone call at 2:00 in the morning?
We have people working for us all over the world.
VAs, baby.
Oh, okay. Got
So
it.
we have people that work for us that are in India. We have
Shout out
people
to the
work.
VAs.
Yeah. So we have people working all over. So we're not. So it may be like 6:00 their time in the evening, but it's like super early or something here. So
Right on.
I'll make sure.
Understood. Go ahead.
No, let's do it.
Well, I got to still one of your questions because she lends me to this question.
Yeah.
If somebody was writing a movie about you, Tyra, 1, what is the name of the movie? And
wow.
2, who's playing you?
Wow, that's a really. I like you. Like, that's a good question. Wow. Faith?
Okay.
Faith Evans.
No,
No,
not
that's the
Faith
name of the
Evans.
movie.
That's it.
Faith.
Okay.
That's the name of the
Okay.
movie. It's Faith.
Okay.
I love Faith. Faith Evans is great. I like her
She
music.
ain't playing me.
Yeah, so she's not playing me. I think the person that is this person famous or
Doesn't matter.
It's your. This is
It's
You?
yours.
I will say my niece.
This is gonna
Play me, yeah. My niece. Her name is Taylor, and we're a lot similar.
Okay.
And I value her so much. She's also in production, like she's also in Broadway and all that cool thing. So I would love for her to do it.
Well, that's amazing. I can tell how much family means to you. So here we are. We're going to land the plane. What's the long-term vision for you?
For just overall,
Long-term vision.
long-term vision for me is not to just have Let Tyra Brand You and Let Tyra Mentor You, but I want to continue to broaden that, and the direction it goes. Right now, my team and I were planning on some other things, so hopefully stay tuned, more is going to be coming soon, but I want to continue to grow that and see how can I continue to help out the community, how can I still build up the community and let people know, like, marketing is not all about what people think. They have this whole, oh, I don't have the budget for marketing. I want people to have another outlook of marketing. I don't want them people to think like this is a necessity. This is what's going to help me grow my business. Because everyone do not have a network that they have that are business owners that are able to advance them or to another level, and sometimes you have to understand have a budget for it.
Outstanding. One more time. First of all, awesome to have you on the show.
Thank you for reaching out. Shout out to you and Bill.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's incredible the amount of success and the quick ramp up that you've had in 90 to 100 days. We have a magical time machine here in the lab. Okay. What advice would Tyra be giving herself from 5 years ago?
Wow, that's a good question. I think the advice would be don't give up, and you're going to go through adversity, and don't let that make you get off track. Just keep focusing on the prize.
Love it. Consistent answer that we've
Yes.
heard a lot. We're going to fast forward the clock, so we're going to make you 5 years older. Okay. What advice is the older version of Tyra Wooten? What advice are they telling you today?
It's to keep going, and that you have no idea how successful you're going to be.
Love that. Love that. Well, Tyra, I for one want to say thank you for coming
you
on to the
so
show.
much.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
It's been really. I was a little nervous, but it was
We
really
told
great.
you
Yeah.
don't be. We're just having a
Yeah.
Yeah,
conversation.
we're just chopping it up.
Yeah.
To all of our visionaries that are still tuning in, thank you so much for your love and your support. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button. You know what it is. Y'all been around YouTube for a while. We love this. We would appreciate the support and love the support from you guys. Remember, each one of our guests are dropping nuggets of wisdom here on the Trail of Life. Ultimately, it's up to you to pick them up.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Mosley. He is Ryan Cuffey. Thank you again to our guest, the lovely Tyra Wooten. The name of the company is Let Tyra Brand You. And we'll see you guys next week on another great episode of the VisionLab podcast.
Blessings.